Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the Lawrence County Animal Hour. We have got an exciting program for everybody.
We do.
And one of the reasons it's so exciting is that we have a special guest. And Ginger, do you want to tell us a little bit about our special guest, our little furry
special
friend?
guest? Well,
The cutest thing in the world?
he is absolutely adorable, and he's being really good. So anybody watching and listening, let's just pray that he stays that way. His name is Walt. He has been with us for
Walt.
about 3 weeks. He's about 7 weeks old. He's had a couple sets of shots. Oh, that's right. Go sleep. Go sleep, little baby.
Yeah.
And he will be ready to be adopted probably within the next couple of weeks. So, and he can be fostered until then if you're interested in doing that. But he is, he's a puppy. We're going to talk a lot about those puppies that everybody got for Christmas.
That's a
later in
good
the show,
idea.
but yeah.
That's why it's so timely. So we are going to be talking about if you adopted a puppy over Christmas, added a member to your family, and it's young and frisky.
Yes.
You have some ways to kind of incorporate that and make that transition a little smoother.
Yeah.
Right?
I do.
It brings so much joy. And look at him. Did he come with siblings? Can you tell us a little bit about his
He had
history?
one sibling that didn't make it.
Oh, no.
He actually was the only puppy that we lost last year at a parvo.
Oh.
So we were really afraid Walt was going to get it. So what we did. I mean, we were giving him fluids and a lot of things, a lot of love, a lot of taking care of him.
Absolutely. That's the healthiest looking puppy I think I've seen. He's just a little chunk.
He is healthy. He is a little chunk. And now he's spoiled. Taking care of a puppy that has parvo when you have an entire kennel full of dogs
Right.
is not easy.
Right.
But we gowned up every time we went anywhere near him or had to, give him any medicine or get him to drink and, stuff like that, cleaned up after him. And we're lucky that nobody else, nobody else got parvo, although we do have other puppies at the shelter.
Right.
So that just tells you how diligent the staff at the shelter is now about making sure
That's incredible.
all the dogs
Yes.
are up to date on all the vaccines, age appropriate. When the puppies come in, it doesn't matter what age they are. We automatically start them on their first set of vaccinations. That used to be kind of different from that, but now when I went to one of the conferences, I started to say earlier in the year. There is not earlier this year. Last year. Yeah, and I haven't quite made it to 2026 yet. One of the things that I did learn from that is that when a puppy comes into a shelter, you vaccinate them immediately. Even the ones, if they happen to be born in the shelter, you start vaccinating them, and then you do it every 2 weeks until they're like 4 months old.
And we've been very lucky. I want to knock on
wood.
Because I know so many shelters have parvo outbreaks, distemper outbreaks. So it's really scary. And of course, we're raising money currently for Quarantine and Intake Center. But you guys have run a really tight ship. Absolutely. And Walt is probably used to a very clean environment, right?
He is. As a matter of fact, I mean, he's really good. I'll take him out like in the morning and he will go ahead and use the bathroom when I get there. Of course, he's gone overnight because puppies really they can't control their bodily functions until they're really about 7 months old.
Right.
So it's but when he goes out, when I take him out, he goes. So he's getting the idea of it.
Yes.
And I will say that I have him in my office in a little, like a little play, like a little kitty play thingy. And if he has to do his business, he will back up so that it goes outside of where he
Oh,
is.
so he's gotten a little
so he's
smart
going to
about it.
be a really clean dog. I don't
Yes.
know if you can. Let's
Look
get
at
your
that
head,
little
let me get your head
sweetheart.
up here. There we go.
Oh, he was just taking a little nap, Ginger.
I'm going to regret waking him up.
He's gotten really used to the lap there.
Yes,
I'm sure he's been on your lap before. Many times.
Many times.
Yes. So you were still talking about 2025, and we can understand why, because it's just hard to transition. But for that reason, before we transition to an exciting new year, and we had recently, in fact, last night, FOLCA had its annual planning meeting to kind of look out and see, you were there attending to see how we could work together. You're welcome to anything we have. And you're such a vital part of it, to share what you wanted, what the adoption events looked like for the shelter, what you had in mind, this coming year. So it was really a great meeting.
It really was. And I'm looking forward to our meeting in the morning that we're going to have to go over how we're planning for this show for the next.
That's what we'll
probably do it for the next 3 months or something for the first quarter, and then
lots of meetings right now.
Yes, lots of meetings.
And in part of that, you always have to look back to see what we've done. And so, speaking from FOLCA, and with the shelter, we really were quite busy last year, weren't we?
We were very busy last year. I know you guys were so helpful with anything that we needed that was, extra. And
you transitioned,
and
mid-year, it transitioned from being managed by the city of Lawrenceburg to Lawrence County, even though there's still a wonderful partnership between the city and the county, and the community is so grateful for that. We were looking, and of course, I had people kind of send me some things, and then I jotted down some stuff. But last year, FOLCA purchased for the shelter a television, Adopt Me vest. How many? I mean, are those put to good use?
Yes. Okay. Now, they were purchased around the pet parade. So they were purchased in December. We used them at the pet parade. I think we used them some at the Christmas parade that we were in, but the dogs were dressed up. So I can't remember. I think maybe one or two of the dogs had the Adopt Me vests on.
And they're probably going to be used more this year, right? As you go to church events or community events, and what volunteers will walk dogs around.
Correct. So one of the things about the vest is, we have a lot of, I'll call it organized adoption events.
Yes.
Last year. This year, I want them to be organized, but not organized. So if someone's out there and you're like, I've got a Saturday or Sunday afternoon, let me take a dog for a walk. Those vests will be worn for that too. So people can come kind of check out a dog for a day.
Check out a dog, much like what Christy did. Christy Curtis for the Senior Center.
Exactly.
Talk a little bit about that. I thought that was great.
That was so cute. Let me tell you, Grandma Edna she's grandma, and she went to the Senior Center. So I don't know if she played bingo or not. But anyway, so she
took her
had
to the crafts room, actually.
They took her to the crafts room. Well, there's no telling what kind of crafts she made, but because she has opinions about things, so I hope she was diplomatic in her critique of the crafts that were made. But
I'm sure
she loved it. She came back it was all about her. I mean, just all.
You could tell she was happy.
And then the next morning when I got there, she came out of her, I was going to say kennel, but she's not really in a kennel. She's in our adoption office, and she just kind of has her space there with her babies. And but she came out of there, she grabbed a baby, and she was ready to go for a walk, and she was so happy.
Oh, that's great. That is great. And I know everyone at the center really enjoyed her. And I think it's going to happen. Christy is going to do that. And that's what's so great about volunteers checking out dogs and, walking around the square.
Taking them out, go to Crockett Park. It's closed.
Yes.
Any place you think, they can go into Tractor Supply. They can go into
Yes.
Harbor Freight. They can go into a lot of places around town. So,
You know,
or
one
just
of these days, and we can talk about this. We can talk about this tomorrow when we're planning future programs. Those pet-friendly places that welcome pets,
Yeah.
which is just great.
we probably need to get an entire list so we can let people know for
Yes.
their own personal dogs.
Yes, absolutely. We also provided medical cost assistance. I know that really came in
Very
quite
helpful.
handy. Some of that was spay neuter, and then some of that too were dogs being brought in and they had medical issues.
Correct.
Right.
So on the spay neuter, just to be clear, I guess I hate that term, but anyway, so that people know that it didn't have to do with the grant that you all got from the county.
correct.
It was money that was raised specifically for the shelter by
Yes.
FOLCA.
Yes.
So just to let people know that grant does not pay to
Include
spay
shelter
and neuter.
pets.
Right.
That's
does not
totally
have
separate.
anything to do with shelter.
That's a very
dogs.
good point. Walkie-talkies. Now, that was something that happened in a meeting. And when you were
Yes.
talking about, you know, the campus is really quite large.
It is. And if when you're looking for somebody, you know, they could be on the far end of that trail. So by the time you get to one end of it, they've already finished their walk and started at the other. So
Right.
the walkie-talkies come in really handy.
Oh, that's great. Look at Walt. Is he not just sweetness?
He is so precious.
Well, let's just say, if you want to adopt, let's just throw that in there
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. If you want to adopt this
Walt,
sweet, precious little baby boy, you know, just give me a call, 931-244-0265.
again,
931-244-0265.
and I think we want to also take this time to thank our sponsors
Oh,
too.
yes.
We dove right into Walt, and it's so important. We want to thank Parks Lumber Company, Hearing Services of Middle Tennessee, WLX, and Story and Lee. They
Yes.
are wonderful partners. We are so glad that they sponsor this program and allow us to talk about all things animals.
Exactly. And if you're looking for someplace to sponsor to help us out, just give one of us a call.
Absolutely.
If you're looking to sponsor.
Yes, that would be great. We're looking for new sponsors, and that would be wonderful. Also, the window painting and new logos. Now, I think the window painting brought so much joy to the shelter building.
It does. It really does. It's it did and it does.
Yes, yes. And it's I mean, it's not worn, is it? It's still just
No.
really holding
there,
up.
There are a couple of places I think that the dogs have scratched, but
it's still
for
hanging
like
in there.
weather or anything, it looks really good.
That's
it's held up
great.
well.
And of course, our new logos, when it became the Lawrence County it's Lawrence County / City of Lawrenceburg Animal Shelter.
Lawrence County / Lawrenceburg Animal Shelter.
Oh, yes. Okay. I made it longer than it already was.
It is,
was
and it's
long.
already. Yeah, I
Yes.
think when we answer the phone now, I try to say the whole thing, but a lot of times it's just animal shelter.
Animal shelter. Yes, yes. Pools and dog houses. Now, I know the pools were so desperately needed this summer, and those really came in handy. And of course, the dog houses
Yes,
are needed because of the overcrowding situation and
then-
the weather.
Yeah, and the weather. So actually, I think you all bought dog houses twice last year. One time was in like this time in January.
Right.
You guys bought dog houses, and then you bought a few more probably in November, I think it was,
Right.
when we had that very first cold spell.
Yes. Commercial dishwasher.
Hallelujah.
That was great. I
Yes.
mean, that was a great purchase. And again, we say FOLCA purchased this. The community purchased
Yeah.
this through FOLCA. FOLCA is the bridge to the community.
Right.
So it's what all of you pitched in at different, events that we had and made it happen. And the commercial dishwasher was big.
Yes, and I put it to good use today.
Yes, storage totes and shelving, of course. Window blinds. I know they were needed in a few areas, and we did complete the fencing project. We
Yes.
had the outdoor play yards, and then we needed to do a few things this year
Yeah.
to complete the project. So, all in all, I think, we purchased a lot.
And the sh- the shelter, everybody that works there, the volunteers, we are so grateful for what Folka does for us.
Well, thanks. And we love to do that because it's improving animal welfare in Lawrence County, and we're all working together to make that happen. Now, we are able to do this. I'm kind of skipping, but we were able to do this through a lot of our fundraising efforts, which an evening with friends, which is our annual event. It is this year. It is going to be August the 28th. I think it's a Saturday. It's the last Saturday of the month, so mark your calendars. It's going to be very exciting. This past year, though, because we're still in review, Evening with Friends raised $48,580. Now, $41,430 is going to the quarantine and intake building, which is still in the works because chances are it's going to require more money. So this is an ongoing project. And then we also had our Pick a Paw campaign at the Evening with Friends event, which raised $7,150, and that went to the medical care.
Correct. Yeah, and we're still using that. Most of it is going to spay and neuter our shelter dogs, which I know a lot of people don't realize this, but for a shelter, once a puppy reaches 6 months old, we have about 30 days by law to get them spayed or neutered.
Oh, okay.
And the dogs that we adopt out, it's the same. We need to get them as spayed or neutered if they're not already as soon as possible. And it is a law. I know we've gotten to some people who want to wait or some people who don't want to. And that kind of results in the animal control officer coming by your house and having a chat with you on how we will take your dog back.
Right.
Because we do not want to add to the overpopulation in Lawrence County.
Well, and that's another thing. That's, of course, I'm jumping around this year. You're going to hear a lot about spay and neuter because we cannot adopt our way out of this. Spay and neuter is the answer.
Yes.
And so there's going to be social media campaigns. There will be, of course, we provide through a generous grant from the county commission. I'm getting ready to talk about that. So you'll be hearing. I mean, we've been talking about that, but we're really going to be talking about that, which is good. And then one of the other things that we did, a Merry Market, we raised funds at the spring market and the fall market, which kicks off the holiday season. The spring market this year is March 27th and 28th. Folka will be there
so soon.
I know, it's right around the corner, which is great because it means spring will be here. I mean, I know a lot of people like winter, but spring is.
I don't mind winter, but I want it to be light outside.
Yes.
A little bit, at least until 6. So I'm counting the days. I think somebody sent me something the other day that it was like 38 days until,
Oh, so. And look at Walt. He's hibernating like a big old bear.
Well,
look at him.
I have a secret.
Yeah. Yes. We also partnered with WLX, our dear partner, and the shelter on the pet parade.
Yes.
Which we had at the shelter and increased visibility for, of course, all the adoptable dogs. We did that
twice last year.
Yeah, we did. It was great. We did it in March.
We did it on St. Patrick's Day, and then we did it in August.
So we're going to talk with Charlotte about the repeat. That was fun.
I have my.
I was unable to participate in the August one. I would think I was out of town. But the the March one was fantastic. It was just fantastic. And
Well,
I'm so glad that everybody got to see all
I'm
the
going to have to learn a whole lot more about a lot of our dogs. We have way more dogs now than we
That's
did
true.
then.
That's true. But hopefully we're going to get those down
Yes.
relatively soon. We're working on a plan, We mentioned our transport and rescue efforts. We helped transport how many dogs to Buffalo last
It
year?
was 24.
24. Okay. 24 to Buffalo. We now actually have a rescue committee, which
Yes.
is FOCA and the shelter working together to identify those out-of-state shelters that will take more of our dogs, so we will be able to do more of that, which is great. And then the great news is we've had a transport van which was donated specifically
exciting.
for the shelter to transport dogs out of state, and also to help with our spay neuter clinics. So we will be raising money this year at our evening with friends, and it will go to the customization of that van to pay for the cages.
Yeah, and you're going to put the logo, the FOCA logo on the van?
It depends on how much that costs. So right now it's air conditioning of the van, because we want to make sure that the dogs are comfortable at all times when they're being transported, and cats for our spay and neuter events. And then of course, to the cages. And there were a couple of other things that actually needed to be done. But it's very exciting.
It is very exciting.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so speaking of our spay and neuter clinics, last year, the commission was so generous in granting us or allocating us $35,000 for spay and neuter. That is $10,000 more than the year before. We are forever grateful. We'll be having quite a few clinics that are coming up, and our next one is February the 21st. We've already posted that on our Facebook page. Please follow Friends of Lawrence County Animals if you're interested, because it is first come, first serve. We ask people to email their contact information, and then a volunteer will contact them, qualify, and send them instructions on how to participate in the spay neuter clinic with our partner CASA in Columbia. But it's one thing that some people were confused, and we're making that clear. They thought that some people thought that if they emailed once, that that would be kept. And sometimes information gets stale. People move, their email address change, their telephone number changes. So for that reason, or they may, between clinics, get their animals spayed or neutered. So for that reason, the information needs to be current with each clinic. So we do ask every time we announce a clinic to go ahead and send your contact information.
Oh, that's good to know.
To lawrencecountysnips@gmail.com.
Can you repeat that?
Yes, Lawrence County Snips, SNIPS, @gmail.com. Yes. So as I said, the next clinic is going to be Saturday, February the 25th. So we're very excited about that.
It's nice to have some Saturdays, too.
This will be our first Saturday.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yes, so that's going to be really interesting.
So that'll make it easier for people.
I think it's going to make it easier.
Yeah.
Yes. Even though people drop off their animals.
At dark 30.
Oh, absolutely. We're out there at 5:30 in the morning, and usually they return around 4 o'clock that afternoon. So it's not really a hardship for people who work, that much of a hardship. It may cut in the afternoon somewhat, but the Saturday is going to be great. So we're really excited to see how that works.
And morning coffee, because that's early.
Adoption support. Now, last year we assisted with adoption events, and, they were kind of FOCA events, but this is going to change for this year. And it's because there are which is great news. There are quite a few people, we can always use more, who have volunteered at the shelter. And so you are managing, because you do anyway with people who come and walk dogs and wash dog bowls and other things. So it was only natural, because you're communicating with the volunteers, that you continue to communicate them regarding adoption events too.
Right.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
I just want to play with Walt.
Walt.
I just want to play with the puppy.
You little puppy.
So we're going to try to have more adoption events.
That's great.
And it's good to have those people who are walking the dogs during the week and on the weekends attend the adoption events, because they know more about the dog. You know, it just kind of makes sense.
Yes.
So if you would like to help with our adoption events, hello. Yes. Now I woke him up, I guess.
You did. You did.
I did.
It's like a baby. You know, when they're so cute and they're napping and people want to hold them, and sometimes they wake them up. That's exactly what you did with Walt.
Somebody needs to call and adopt this kid before he winds up permanently in my office or at home.
What do you think how big? I know you can't tell.
You know, from the size he is now, and his age, like I said, I think he's about 7 weeks old. I think that he is probably going to be somewhere around 30 to 40 pounds.
Oh, not big.
No, he's not going to be that big. Now, it could be he could surprise me and, next week weigh 15 pounds.
Well, his little paws are not just huge.
Yeah. And he got his nail clip.
They're cute. Today. They're adorable, but they're not these huge paws. And what do you think he knows. What do you think he is?
He might have some kind of shepherd in him or something.
Oh, little shepherd, because you're so fuzzy.
Yeah, he is a little fluffy.
Yeah, you're just a fluff bomb. And he's so cute. Yes. Now, where were we? I kind of got off them.
We were talking about adoption events.
Yes. So you're planning on having even more this year.
Yeah.
And like you said, kind of differently. You want to go into that a little bit?
Yeah. I want to do things where, we do have like an organized adoption event, like we did at Tractor Supply, Ace Hardware, Advanced America. And so we want to do those, but also, like I said, if people want to just come and check out one of our dogs and walk it around the square on, during the farmer's market, that's always really good. We've gotten several dogs adopted actually just from people doing that.
Yes.
Instead of having, they're say, okay, we're going to be there from 9 until, 1 or something, and having a whole tent set up. Sometimes that's much on the volunteers, because sometimes it gets really hot. So if we can just get people to, to come by and take the puppies in the morning, or not just puppies, but adult dogs too, in the morning, and walk around with them, then, they're seen. They get seen then, and it's
a lot of the church events. Now, you did 1 or 2 this past year, correct?
Yes, we did. And we will do those again, Pastor David.
And one of them, explain, because I'm sure you want to expand it to other churches as well.
Yes, I would love to. So what we did last year at Easter, we attended at Rotary Park, outside of the park, not inside the park, but outside the park, the United Church's Easter egg hunt. And there are hundreds of people that come to the Easter egg hunt. And that day we adopted out eight dogs.
Wow.
Not if some people adopted them, because they saw them at Rotary Park, and then some people, we didn't have what they wanted there, so they went back to the shelter. And by the way, the shelter is at 815 Gaither. There are a lot of people who are confused as to where it is, and there are still people out there, Leanne, that don't realize Lawrenceburg has a shelter.
Or Lawrence County has a shelter.
Exactly.
Yes.
Lawrence,
and
there's a shelter.
And it's on the way out to Dave. If you're from the square, it's on the way out to David Crockett Park.
Right.
And after you drive by the cute hotel that has recently been renovated.
Yes.
Yes. you make a left,
Left.
onto, is it Skyline? What
It's
is it? Skyline?
Skyline, I think. And up
Skyline.
at the top of that hill,
Yep.
you turn down it looks like a long driveway, and it is. That's where we are. So
Right. Yes, that's good to know. So you did the Easter egg hunt, and
did
what
the
was
Easter egg
what was the other one?
we attended their Labor Day picnic, which is the day before Labor Day.
Okay.
We were going to do the Memorial Day, but it was supposed to rain that day, so we wound up not doing that. But it was kind of funny because it stopped raining just at the time we should have been there, and just when I was leaving, because I attend that church, it started raining when I was pulling out of the park. So,
Oh, wow.
So this year we're going rain or shine.
Rain or shine, you're going to be there. Well, that's great. So, if there aren't any churches, if your church has something family friendly, those are really great.
Yeah.
Please contact Ginger because she would love to have 1, 2, 8 dogs.
Yeah.
How many,
I would
depending
like to have
on the
8 dogs
event.
adopted every weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah, just give me a call. It's 931-244-0265. And so we took dogs that we knew that would get along, that got along together. We knew we took dogs who got along with people. So we're very aware of where they're going to be, and we pick our dogs very, very carefully when we take them to big events like that.
That's great. So we've done a lot last year, and we're looking forward to a great year for Lawrence County animals in 2026. But again, so many families adopted puppies, puppers over the holiday season. So we want to circle back to Walt
and his
Ginger,
piranha teeth.
the little piranha teeth. Why don't you tell us give us some
Puppy tips.
tips? Yes.
Well, one of the puppy tips, I don't know if you can see, he wanted to chew on my fingers.
Yes.
So I have this little baby puppy Kong, and you do need to be careful to get soft things for them to chew on because they do have baby teeth, and they do lose them, but you don't want to lose them prematurely. So give them, it has a hole in it. All the Kongs have a hole in it.
Now, do you have any food in there, or he's just chewing it?
He's just chewing it.
Okay.
So I'm kind of redirecting his chewing instead of on my fingers and my hand to something that is appropriate for him to chew on. Yeah, not my nose either. No. So with puppies, that's one thing. They always need something to chew on, or they're going to chew on inappropriate things like your shoes, your belt, your jeans, whatever they can get into, your furniture. Ouch.
So lots of things they need to have, to redirect.
So like even here, I brought this little baby Kong, and I've got this tennis ball, which is really too big for him, but he would try to, he'll chase it and move it around. But so some of the things with puppies I was thinking of today was, when you're housebreaking a puppy, the old thing was, if they have a mistake, you rub their nose in it and then put, and say no. Well, that's not really the easiest way to do that. Not only that, but if you've seen me like loving on him and he's all in my face, you really don't want to, you really don't want to rub your dog's nose in his, where he's pottied and then love
for everybody and then give him a big smooch.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's not something that I would recommend doing. But, just when you see them, they have their signs. You'll know your puppy. After he's pretty much, if I see him drink water, I take him outside because they're just renting that for like 5 minutes before.
So 5 minutes and it's time to go.
5 or 10 minutes after you see them drink water, they need to go outside. And typically once they eat food, and every puppy is different. But if I feed them, I know exactly what time I feed them. I don't leave food down. I never leave food down for puppies because then you don't know when they might have to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
And, every puppy's body is different, but I started about 20 minutes to take them outside to see if they're going to have to do their business. And if they don't, bring them back in 5 or 10 minutes later, take them back outside until you get a sense of how long it's going to take to kind of process all that.
Right.
And some it could be an hour or 2 hours, but
So for Walt, you feed him and then remove the bowl.
correct.
Okay.
Typically, I feed him enough that he eats, just enough that he eats all of it that's in there.
Right.
I try to kind of gauge what he's going to eat, and if he eats it real quick, I'll give him a little bit more. But yeah, I don't leave food down for puppies. I don't leave food down for my own dogs, but I know a lot of people do. They're adult dogs, but puppies, it's just going to make it a lot more difficult to get them potty trained. And I think I mentioned it earlier, but a puppy really cannot start having a whole lot of control over their bodily functions until they're about 7 months old. They can do really, really well, but if something happens and you don't make it home within like 9 hours, you might have an accident. But they can be really good using a crate to train them, because a lot of them, like he's not going to want to potty
I think
in
that's
his.
hysterical that he tries to just shoot it out as a puppy.
As a puppy, yeah, he
Just
doesn't.
out of his little playpen.
Yeah, he does not want to go. He doesn't want to dirty anything in his playpen, so he tries to get it so that it
That's great.
goes out.
That
It's so
is
funny.
great.
A lot of dogs will do that.
Mm-hmm.
I had a dog that anytime he got sick or anything and he happened to be in his kennel, he would take his bed and cover it up. So I didn't initially see what it was, but I just had this horrible smell. Yeah.
And then discovered it. Yes. Yes.
So other things with puppies, so that a puppy needs to meet about, I think it's 100 people within the first 3 months of their life. Now, sometimes you can extend it a couple of weeks, but you really need to get them out and about. So I may have to take him on a trip. Anybody want to pick him up and take him to? You can take them into, what did I say earlier? Tractor Supply,
Harbor Freight,
Ace Hardware, as long as you're carrying them.
Yes.
I mean, if it's an adult dog, you could take the adult dog, but for him, you would just need to carry him in there, because he's only had 2 sets of vaccinations or vaccines, and they should have 3 before they're actually given full reign of walking around any place.
Oh, okay. So you can carry.
Oh, you better take that.
And we need to put together a list. So we need to write that down
for that
and share it in a future segment. Yeah.
And the other thing with puppies that that's good to know and to do is they're going to go to the vet at least once a year for their entire life, because they have to have those yearly rabies shots. So and the vet's going to look in their ears. So just take their little ears and play with them. Don't know if you can see, but turn them kind of inside and out, look in it, put your finger in there, not jab your finger in there, but just rub it, pull just a little bit, because they may wind up when they're older being around small children that are going to do that.
Yes.
I have a funny story. It was an adult dog, but I was training him to be a therapy dog. And a friend of mine and I had taken him to the park, and he had a fuzzy tail. And so I was just, as we were walking, I just grab his tail and jerk on it a little bit. And he didn't pay any attention because he knew it was me, right? And my friend says, "Why are you doing that? You're just aggravating him." I'm like, no. I said, because a child will come up and pull his tail. And she was like, no parent would let their kid do that. I'm like, look, kids move fast.
Right.
And you see a fuzzy dog, he didn't look too much, kind of like this one actually, but and it was not 2 minutes later that this little girl came flying up to him and started shaking his tail. And my friend just went, "You gotta be kidding me."
Yes, because you do never know. And you want to get him used to it.
Right. So, and he's cute. He's going to have a fluffy tail, even if they don't have a fluffy tail. But just get them used to being.
And what about his little paws? I know you always full with his paws.
Always full with their paws for many reasons. The same thing, a little kid. Ouch. I should have never woke you up. Go back to sleep. But, just play with their paws and not just play with them and touch them, but squish them just a little bit, like you were going to trim his nails.
Yes. Yes.
And that way, when they get older, they're used to having somebody
Yes.
play with their
Yes.
feet.
So
all
you can
four
tell
of
it
them.
does not bother him right now.
No, it's not bothering him right now. He had his nails trimmed today, thank goodness, because he just scratched my face. But just separate them a little bit, all four of them, and just keep doing that. And as he gets older, you can apply a little bit more pressure to it, but nothing that's going to hurt.
Right.
Nothing. You don't want anything to be a negative experience. But a lot of things with puppies, what makes a really good puppy, like he was at the beginning of the show, is for them to be tired.
Yes. Yes.
A tired puppy is a happy puppy mama and daddy. Because then they're just going to sleep. I mean, he was knocked out at the beginning. I should have never let him sleep for so long, but it's kind of like children, right?
And you obviously, do you put him on a little leash or no?
I haven't
Because you
introduced
can
him.
catch him. He's
Right,
not. He's so young. He's not going to bolt.
Right. And at this point, it's like he's going to follow me wherever I go.
Okay.
I can't. He's not going anywhere.
Okay.
And if he tries to wander off or anything when I take him out, I just clap or something, and he
comes right
he
back.
comes right back. Yeah. But you do.
There will be a time.
There will be a time, and probably soon, that I'll get one of those, those really thin little like leashes that you get from the vet's office.
Yes,
Sometimes
yes.
I'll probably get one of those and
Slip
just let
leash
him
and just put
Right.
it over.
and I'll put it on him and just let him drag it around the lobby at the shelter. That kind of gets him used to having something around his neck, and then dragging it, and then I might pick it up so he can see it's everything that you do with a puppy is patience. That's one of the things that you really need to have with puppies, because they're just babies. They just
And it's like gentle teaching.
yeah.
The gentle approach. Gentle,
Right.
gentle. Correction.
Yeah, and then they're not going to be a
Correction.
correction. Let's go back to chewing on that, not me. Go ahead, chew on your own foot. Then here's your tail.
Oh, yeah. And they do like to do that as well.
I haven't seen that many tail chasers at the shelter.
Really?
The puppies, but you know how they love.
Oh, yes, they do.
Yes, sir. You're going to chew. So and one thing that you have to be aware of is what you are leaving down that the puppy can get into. I think Leanna, I told you one time that I was when I lived in Memphis, I was training this lady's dog, and at the end of that session, I want to say that was my first or second session, whichever it was the last, because she said, "Can you train my daughter's dog not to chew her shoes?" And I'm a little bit of a smart aleck, if you didn't know. And
No, I would know.
for those who don't know, and my response was, it would be easier for me to train your daughter to put her shoes in the closet
right.
and to shut the door. And then I thought to myself, I didn't just say that out loud, but I did, and the lady didn't call me back. So apparently I did a really great job of training her dog that one day.
Yes, absolutely. Well, you have to be, and it's hard to do. I mean, I've had my shoes destroyed, and
had
you
one of
just
my
sit
dogs-
there and go, "Oh, I can't believe I did that."
She chewed not one of my Birkenstocks, but two pair. Right, because guess what?
Yeah,
I left it out.
you
Yeah.
learn. Yes, but it is hard, and you have to remember. Yep, put
Yeah.
the shoes up, put anything up.
It
Because
teaches
here
you
they
to be
go.
tidy.
Yes, yes, it does. Yes, it does. Especially for you, Walt. You're a chewer. What else do you do? Is there anything else you can think of?
Get them used to having, gentle, warm baths and let them be played with children. But again, like a puppy his age does not need to be around little kids, because he is teething.
Right.
And he likes to chew on everything. He's usually pretty good. I've got him wired,
So when you say
today, but
what age? What is age appropriate for Walt? if
I
you
would
had
say for him, I would say maybe 10 and up.
to? Okay.
Or you keep a really close eye on what he's, what he's doing.
Because the little
And
teeth are sharp. They're not
they
going to
are,
do a lot of damage, but they are sharp.
they're
And they'll
gonna,
break the skin,
they can break the
possibly,
skin,
on the
right? And
little one.
it doesn't feel good. I mean, I call them little piranha teeth for a reason. Look at him. I don't know what he's doing now, but
He's
probably
looking.
looking cute.
He is. He's looking adorable, is what he's doing.
And
And again, that's what they do. They get into a cycle. They get into a play cycle and a
Yep.
sleep cycle, a
Yep.
play cycle and a sleep cycle.
and puppies his age pretty much sleep still most of the time. So he got a lot of playtime today, and he slept, and we got him up, and I think he's still pretty tired from his playtime this morning, but
Well, it's funny because you can't see his expression. Okay, he's back again. But his eyes were wide open. He was like, I'm a little tired. I need to relax. But, I'm back into the swing of things.
get your tail.
Yep, back into the swing of things. I think he slept a pretty good portion of the day, right?
He did. He
Yeah.
played hard. We had some volunteers that came in today, and they were there. Father and daughter, they were there for about 5 hours, and they started out playing with him, and they walked some dogs, unfolded some newspapers for us.
And
did
how
a
many
couple of other
puppies do
things.
you have out there
Right
now?
now we have 7, 8. We have about 11 or 12 puppies that are young, that are under 3 months old.
Okay,
And then
okay.
we have several older puppies. Some of them are just turned 6 months, and they're adorable.
Okay.
Well, I'll have to bring them. One of them, not
Yeah.
a them, not
Yes.
multiples.
How many of the 6 months do you have? Because they need to.
We probably
homes.
have at least 6 or 7 that are right around
Oh,
6
wow.
months
Okay.
old. Yeah.
Okay.
They came in as little puppies in August or September, I think. So,
And spring is right around the corner. It will get you out and you can exercise. It
Yes.
provides an incentive, like you said. It provides you an incentive to develop really good habits, to be a little
Yeah.
tidier,
Yeah.
to get outside and play, enjoy nature, get outside and romp with the little ones. It's just great and brings you so much joy.
It does. And the thing is it's kind of funny, but if you don't have a dog and you think you might want one, you can come to the shelter. But dogs just add so much
Yes.
joy to our lives and things. I've had people who've adopted dogs that were like, you know what, I thought she needed me, but it was the other way around. I needed her. And I think I've told this story a long time ago, but I got my dog Pete. I got him about, I think it was about a year and a half after I had lost my mom and dad. I lost him about just shy of 2 years just apart. So I got him, and I was like that. I didn't know I needed him.
Right.
But
You did.
I did. I needed him tremendously. I didn't. So I started running marathons after I got him because I couldn't. He was kind of like this little guy, and the more I walked him, the more endurance he had, I think. So
That's incredible. There's so much joy again. And, when we look even at our childhoods, usually they involve
Yeah.
a dog or a cat, and it made our childhood so much more meaningful.
Yes.
We're really, going to be reaching out to families to see if they can't make room because it's such a good thing for the children and for the family.
And I think, for children and dogs, there's just a bond
Yes.
there. I know, back to about Pete again, but he wound up being a therapy dog, and I took him to St. Jude and the Ronald McDonald House, and specifically the Ronald McDonald House, because the children that had cancer were at the Ronald McDonald House, but so were their siblings. And just to see them interact with him was just amazing. I remember one time this little girl, she just sat down and he just walked over and put his lay down, and he was like an 85-pound dog. So he just laid down and put his head over in her lap, and she just sat there and told me about her brother or sister, and we were almost getting ready to leave, but we were talked to her for about 30 minutes, and she just loved having him there, and he was in tune to what she had to say, and then the children that did have cancer, they loved him.
And regarding the and that is so great because it does matter. And families are so busy, and especially with sports, it seems like they're busier. But animals provide home base.
Exactly.
The home base has 4 legs. It's all, the pet is always there and can really center the family as they're going out in their different directions. So we hope that Walt will be able to provide that for a family or a person. And again, if they want to adopt Walt or any other puppy or dog that's out at the shelter,
it's 931-244-0265.
That's great.
That's 931-244-0265.
And we have still a lot of dogs out there.
We do. It's amazing how many dogs we have. Just in the last couple of days, we've wound up with someone had dumped some puppies somewhere, and somebody brought those in. Another dog was out running in the county, I think, and ate somebody's goat or something, or killed the goat, and so we had to bring that one in. Another one actually picked up a dog that was hurt. And the dog has buckshot in its arm. We wound up having to take her to the vet, and he did an X-ray, and he's like, hey, I was there for something else, and he was like, hey, you want to look at her X-rays? I'm like, oh my gosh, whoever shot that dog, I have many things to say, and none of them are nice.
It's incredible, and again, it's it's very unfortunate. And we do have dogs that continue to come in.
Yes.
So we are working diligently on trying to get some rescue partners. We have some great rescue partners right now, but we need more. But we also need for people, if they have room in their hearts and in their homes, to make it 2026 the year, to adopt.
To adopt or foster. And if you're missing a dog, please look at our Facebook page at the Lawrence County-Lawrenceburg Animal Shelter Facebook page. And we actually now have TikTok. We are up today.
That is great.
So the TikTok is, I think all we could get on there was Lawrence County Animal Shelter.
Okay.
We couldn't put the whole name on there, but you can look that up. You can go to our Facebook page, and I think there's a link. We posted a link today. There's not much up, but like us on TikTok so you can keep up with the antics from the shelter.
That is exciting and good news. Just expose our animals to a lot more people.
Yep. And you can just do a lot more with TikTok.
So looking ahead, I've got some good news. We will be having a lot more guests coming on, but we're also going to have different hosts. It will not be moi coming on every week. We, at our planning meeting, we found out that some of our board members
are interested
in coming on, and I think that is wonderful. You, Ginger Morgan, will be our constant, and we will have different people, different exciting guests. It is an election year, so we're going to have candidates, and talk about their feelings.
Maybe with those other hosts, I'll get to talk about heartworms again.
Absolutely. You can break them in with your very long conversation on heartworms. Absolutely. It will be a good time. We're really excited about this program. And again, we want to thank our sponsors, Story and Lee, Parks Lumber Company, and Middle Hearing Services of Middle Tennessee. We so appreciate them. and of course WLX. So,
Absolutely.
Walt, it's been great. You little furry bundle of love.
He has done a lot better than the last little puppy that I brought. I think the last one actually ripped your earring out.
He did, and she did, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Because she ended up going to a good home.
She did.
She was full of energy.
Yes, if you have puppies, you might not want to wear.
Yeah, you may not want to wear. That could have been another tip as well. You see, I didn't hold Walt this time. So again, thank you so much, guys, for joining the Lawrence County Animal Hour. We're so glad you were able to listen, and we look forward to seeing you next week.